the true story of ghosts of Raven Hill. Imagine moving to a serene town, only to find that the night is filled with ghostly whispers and shadowy figures lurking around every corner. Every step you take is watched by unseen eyes, and every night, the ghosts of Raven Hill come alive. Welcome to the true story of Ghosts of Raven Hill. Before we dive into this spine-chilling tale, I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced something paranormal or felt an unexplained presence in your home? Share your thoughts and creepy experiences in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you love horror stories. And let me know what you want to hear next. Sarah had always been a city girl, thriving amidst the hustle and bustle of New York City. But after a stressful year at her demanding job, she craved peace and quiet. When she inherited her grandmother's old house in Raven Hill, a small town nestled in the countryside, she saw it as the perfect opportunity to escape the chaos and find solace. Raven Hill was a picturesque town, surrounded by rolling hills and dense forests. It had a quaint charm with its historic buildings and friendly neighbors. But Sarah had heard whispers, no pun intended, about the old house's dark history. Legend spoke of the Raven Hill Manor, abandoned for decades, haunted by the restless spirits of its former inhabitants. Determined to turn her inheritance into a home, Sarah decided to move in, ignoring the town's superstitions. On a chilly autumn afternoon, she packed her belongings and drove to Raven Hill, eager to start her new life. The house stood at the end of a winding gravel path, its once grand facade now weathered by time. Ivy clung to the stone walls, and broken windows stared blankly into the distance. Despite its eerie appearance, Sarah felt an inexplicable connection to the place, as if her grandmother had chosen her for a reason. As she stepped inside, the door creaked open, revealing a spacious foyer with high ceilings and a grand staircase. The air was thick with dust, and the scent of aged wood and old books filled her nostrils. She unpacked her essentials, setting up her bedroom on the second floor and arranging her furniture in the living room. That night, as Sarah settled into her new home, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. The wind howled outside, rattling the windows, and the house seemed to groan under the weight of its own history. As she lay in bed, she heard faint whispers, barely audible over the sound of the wind. She tried to dismiss them as the house settling, but the whispers grew louder, more insistent. Sarah, her heart pounded as she sat up, scanning the dark room. The whispers continued, echoing through the halls, as if coming from the very walls themselves. She reached for her phone, turning on the flashlight to search for the source, but saw nothing. The next morning, Sarah decided to explore the house, determined to understand the strange occurrences. She started with the attic, where her grandmother used to keep old family photos and memorabilia. The attic was cluttered with boxes and old furniture, covered in layers of dust. As she sifted through the items, she found a dusty old diary belonging to her grandmother. The diary entries detailed her grandmother's life in Raven Hill, speaking of love, loss, and the lingering presence of the house's former residents. The final entry was the most chilling. October 31st, 1985. The spirits grow restless. Their whispers echo through the halls. I fear that Raven Hill Manor holds secrets too dark to uncover. If something happens to me, know that I did everything I could to protect our family. Sarah felt a chill run down her spine. Could her grandmother have been trying to communicate with the spirits? Determined to get to the bottom of it, she decided to visit the local library the next day. At the Raven Hill Library, she met Mrs. Thompson, the elderly librarian who seemed to know everything about the town's history. "Welcome, dear. How can I help you today?" Sarah explained her situation and showed her grandmother's diary. Mrs. Thompson listened intently, her eyes growing solemn. Raven Hill Manor has always been a subject of local lore. The Blackwood family who lived there were well known for their involvement in the occult. It's said that they dabbled in dark rituals, trying to communicate with the beyond. The tragic fire that destroyed the manor claimed the lives of the entire family, but some believe their spirits never left. Sarah shivered at the thought. "Do you know anything about the whispers?" Mrs. Thompson nodded. "It's not uncommon for new residents to experience such phenomena. The spirits of the Blackwoods are said to be bound to the manor, unable to find peace. Some locals have reported seeing apparitions, hearing whispers, and feeling a presence in the house. Determined to help her family and free the spirits, Sarah decided to conduct her own research. She spent hours poring over old newspaper archives, town records, and any information she could find about the Blackwood family and their rituals. One afternoon, she stumbled upon a reference to a hidden room in the manor, a room where the Blackwoods conducted their rituals. The room was said to contain a powerful artifact that held the key to their connection with the spirit world. With this new information, Sarah knew what she had to do. She returned to the house, flashlight in hand, and began searching for the hidden room. After hours of searching, she discovered a loose brick in the library's fireplace. Behind it was a narrow passage leading to a concealed door. Taking a deep breath, she opened the door and descended into the hidden room. The air was thick with incense and the remnants of ancient symbols painted on the walls. In the center of the room stood a pedestal, upon which rested a small, ornate box. Sarah approached the pedestal, her heart racing. As she opened the box, a surge of energy filled the room, and the whispers grew louder, swirling around her like a dark cloud. Inside the box was a crystal pendant, glowing with an eerie light. She knew this was the artifact that held the key to communicating with the spirits. Determined to free the Blackwood family, she decided to perform the ritual outlined in her grandmother's diary. That night, Sarah prepared the ritual, setting up candles and arranging the symbols on the floor as instructed. As she began chanting the incantations, the room trembled with supernatural energy. The whispers intensified, turning into cries of anguish and desperation. Suddenly, the room was filled with ghostly apparitions, the spirits of the Blackwood family. Their faces were etched with sorrow and pain, their eyes hollow and pleading. "Please help us, Eleanor Blackwood," the matriarch pleaded. "We are trapped by the curse of Ravenhill Manor. Free us and release our souls from this eternal nightmare." Sarah felt a mix of fear and compassion. "I will help you. What do I need to do?" Eleanor pointed to the pendant. "You must destroy the pendant to break the curse. Only then can our spirits find peace." Determined, Sarah knew what she had to do. She grabbed the pendant and prepared to destroy it, but the room's atmosphere grew hostile. Shadows twisted into menacing forms, trying to prevent her from completing the ritual. "No!" a dark voice boomed. "You cannot release us." The shadows converged around her, their cold grip threatening to pull her into the darkness. Sarah felt the weight of their anger and sorrow, but she stood her ground, holding the pendant tightly. Summoning all her courage, she swung the pendant into the flames of the candles, watching as it shattered into pieces. A blinding light enveloped the room, and the oppressive presence lifted. The spirits of the Blackwood family appeared before her one last time, their expressions now peaceful and grateful. "Thank you," Eleanor whispered. "You have freed us from our torment." With that, the spirits began to fade, their forms dissolving into the night air. The room returned to normal, the candles burning steadily and the oppressive energy gone. Sarah felt a profound sense of relief and accomplishment. The curse of Ravenhill Manor had been broken, and the whispers that had haunted her nights were finally silenced. As dawn broke, she stood at the window, watching the first rays of sunlight illuminate the manor. She knew that Ravenhill's secrets were now laid to rest, and the ghosts of Ravenhill had found their peace. But as she turned to leave the room, a final whisper echoed in the morning air. "Remember us?" Sarah paused, a chill running down her spine. She glanced back at the manor, now bathed in sunlight, and felt a lingering connection to the spirits she had freed. She knew that Ravenhill Manor's secrets were no longer hidden, and the eternal whispers would always be a part of her story. Sarah's journey through Ravenhill Manor was a testament to courage and compassion. By confronting the unknown and seeking to understand the restless spirits, she was able to bring peace to those who had been forgotten by time. The whispers of the eternal spirit served as a reminder that every story deserves to be heard and every soul to find its rightful place. Yet, the lingering whisper left Sarah wondering if all was truly resolved, hinting that some mysteries may never be fully laid to rest. Thank you for joining me on this eerie adventure through the true story of Ghosts of Raven Hill. If you enjoyed this story, let me know in the comments below and share any creepy experiences you've had. Stay tuned for more chilling tales, and remember, sometimes the most forgotten places hold the deepest secrets.